Anh Hưng xin kính chào quý vị, và với anh Hưng hôm nay là dân biểu liên bang Scott Peters của quận 52. Quận 52 đi từ Coronado qua Poway và bao gồm vùng biển. Ông đến với chúng ta hôm nay để bàn thảo với chúng ta về kinh tế và kế hoạch của quận 52. Mr. Peters, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations on your elected position.
Thank you.
I'm sure it's going to be keeping you very busy for a while.
It already is, yes. Thank you.
So to start, would you mind sharing with the audience a little bit about your background and what brought you here today?
Sure. Well, I grew up the son of a minister and a part-time secretary around the Midwest in New Jersey or Michigan and New Jersey. Went to college out there and became a lawyer. Practiced law for about 15 or 16 years, and then I decided to enter a career in public service. I went on the city council here in 2000, represented the first council district, which is La Jolla, Carmel Valley, University City, and Peñasquitos. Became the city council president, then became a port commissioner, and then decided that I would like to take some of the problem-solving attitude to Washington, D.C., and so now I'm in Congress.
Cool. Now, with you being on your first term, with District 52,
right.
What are your plans for the future of District 52?
Well, I'm very concerned about the economy and jobs and making sure that people have an opportunity to have a job and make a living. And so in our region, the economy is driven by tourism. That's very important. It's driven by the military. That's about a quarter of our jobs are related to the military. And also by science, engineering, and technology. That's kind of a third of it. So what I'm very interested in is making sure that people are educated in a way that they have a chance to get those jobs so that they're qualified, and every child has an opportunity as they grow up to have a job in San Diego.
I see, okay. So then what you're talking about is something that generally everyone is concerned about. What will you be doing that's going to be different, that's going to make that difference?
Well, we need to support the federal investment in San Diego. So a couple things. Right now, we're having a terrible time passing a budget in the Congress. There's a lot of politics that are getting in the way, but that hurts San Diego for a few reasons. One is the military can't plan their mission. A lot of the companies that work for the military don't know whether they'll need to be making their products or not, whether the military will be able to afford to buy them. And then a lot of the scientific research that depends on federal United States grants is also being hurt by these budget cuts. That are not really related to the mission, but just across-the-board cuts. So I'd like to fix that and make sure that we're investing so that companies and people have a chance here in San Diego. It's also hurting our schools, not having a federal budget, because the schools don't have money that they can plan on. And we want to make sure that every child has a chance to learn. I was able, when I was coming out of high school, to get subsidized loans, financial aid, so that my family could afford to send me to college. That's how I was able to make my career and become self-sufficient. Every kid needs to have that opportunity, so that's my goal.
No, that's funny you mentioned that, because earlier today I was talking to someone and she was mentioning how the schools have such a budget cut that some of the students are no longer able to get grants, get loans.
Right.
And it is such a huge problem, but also a lot of obstacles. What steps are you going to be able to take to help solve this enormous problem?
Well, again, we pass a budget so that we have enough money for schools to fund special education, school lunches for kids who need them, facilities, buildings, and so forth. Some of the federal investment helps support that. But also we want to make sure that if someone qualifies to go to college, that they can afford it. Because our economy now is powered by brain power. It's not just manual labor. It's actually, we need smart people who are educated, who can compete in a global economy. And as you know, as we see from the Vietnamese community here, we have people from all over here. Everyone comes here for an opportunity, and we want to make sure that we give the same opportunity to our children that my country gave to me.
Okay, so let's talk about economy. What do you see as the future of our economy at this point?
Well, San Diego's got a bright economy. I think this is a good place to be. We have a bright future. We're a place that people want to live. We're a place that where companies would like to grow. We have to make sure that we're sensitive to employers and employees and making sure that the rules make sense. But I'm optimistic for San Diego. I think this is a good place to be.
And I know that there's a lot of talk about us coming out of the recession, there has been movement,
Slow movement, yes.
In the positive directions.
Right.
I did see that there are also more construction happening. Right. How do you foresee that with, California being known for being an unfriendly state?
Well, people say that, and they try to steal our jobs to Texas, but, we're still twice as big as Texas. I think it's still a good place to do business, a place where people are very creative and smart and innovative. So that's good. I think we're just going to have to keep supporting smart decision-making in the economy, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be a problem solver. I'm not someone who goes to Congress just to fight. I would like to solve problems and make things better, working with other people and listening. That's the way it works in the local government, and I think that's what we need in Washington, D.C. And another big thing is we have to provide a lot of information about health care in the new health care law. I think in addition to education, that's going to be a big challenge for families here. I have a young man named Anthony Nguyen in my office who's of Vietnamese origin, worked in the Social Security Administration. I hired him so that he could speak with the Vietnamese community. He speaks Vietnamese. He teaches me some phrases that I'm not very good at. But he's very good at helping people with benefits, with healthcare questions, with questions about Social Security or Medicare. And if people have questions, they should call Anthony in my office and he can help them.
That's great to know. So then actually you brought up the health care. And of course the hottest subject for a long time now is Obamacare.
Yes.
I know you've been on the road speaking about Obamacare.
Right.
Can you kind of give us an update on where things are?
Yeah, there are still a lot of political fights in Congress about Obamacare, and it seems to me that our job now is to make it work. So I'm going to leave behind the fights over whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, because it's the law today. So Congress passed it, the President signed it, the Supreme Court okayed it, Congress has tried to repeal it and failed. Let's figure out how to make it work. So in my office, we have Anthony Nguyen. He's helping people understand the law and what the opportunities are, what benefits may be available. We're also doing a number of workshops for businesses. We did one for the Asian community recently in the Mira Mesa Library, and we'll take it on the road to show people how to work with the law, what benefits that they can get from it, and answer any questions that they can have.
Right, and then of course again talking about economy and Obamacare and its effect on businesses, that's a huge concern, especially for small businesses.
It is. Right.
So in your speaking engagement, what message are you sending out to the business owners?
Well, we also want to listen to the businesses. So if there's something that needs to be fixed in Obamacare, if it's not working, we want to fix that. One of the things that the President asked for that I supported was a 1-year delay in imposing the requirement on businesses that they provide health care, because we're not ready yet. The businesses have a lot of questions. We need to figure out the right way to implement this so that we don't make mistakes that are going to hurt businesses. We want this to be supportive if it works right. And again, it was enacted before I was there. I'm not fighting over whether it's a good idea or a bad idea. We just have to make it work. That's our job now.
So tell us about the technical details of that Obamacare. What exactly is that?
Well, it's expansion of private insurance. So many people have private insurance through their employers today. That won't change. But what this does is it's going to provide a marketplace for you and your family or your small business to go out and look for the best deal on insurance. And we hope, if it works right, that there will be competition and that prices will be lower and that you'll be able to get care that you can afford, so that if you have something go wrong in your family, you won't lose your house because you can't pay for the medical bills, and so that you're also taking care to be well, to be preventative, to prevent yourself from getting sick, because you're getting the support you need for good habits, for diet and exercise and so forth. So if it works well, it should save a lot of money, but we have a lot of work to do left to make sure that it works.
Right, and then of course the other thing that I have seen with the preparation for Obamacare implementation is a lot of health insurance carriers either are pulling out or they started to raise their premium already. And like you said, you got into it after it was enacted, good or bad.
Yeah.
But have you heard of anything in Washington, D.C. in terms of preparation should the plan doesn't go the way it's supposed to be? What kind of plans do they have? How fast are they able to react to anything that possibly could hurt or affect the business world or the economy?
Well, I think that's a great question, Teresa. We have to pay attention to that over the next few months because people are going to start signing up next month, and we should find out. Now, I will say in California and in New York, in some states where there are a lot of competitors, a lot of insurance companies bidding, the prices have been lower than they had anticipated. So, insurance rates have been going up a lot, or healthcare costs have been going up a lot. We're already seeing that slow. We think that some of that is due to Obamacare. And if it works like it's supposed to work, and it looks like it may in big states with a lot of competitors, prices should be lower. And we'll have to watch that, though. We don't know yet.
Right. So then, in the case where it doesn't work, has there been talk in Washington about what to do to react to that?
A lot. I mean, that's my focus is if it doesn't work, we need to stop and make sure that it does. And so I'm committed to make sure that we fulfill the purpose of the healthcare law, which was to make sure that if you have insurance that you like, you can keep it. And if you don't, you'll be able to find insurance that covers you and your family and that's affordable. And I think that's the goal.
Okay, all right. I won't beat you up too much on that.
That's all right.
Anymore. So then, with I do understand that you are quite active in terms of the human rights movement and have spoken in Washington, D.C. on the subject as well. Can you tell us where that stands, especially with Vietnam specifically? Well,
I'm a member of the Congressional American Congressional Pacific American Caucus.
Acronyms.
The acronyms, CAPAC. And it's open to members who are ethnic Asians, but also people like me who have large populations of Asians in our district, Asian Americans. And we want to make sure that, again, this is an opportunity society. We want to make sure that all people, and with a particular focus on Asian Americans, have the same opportunities to move ahead that previous generations have had, and we were all immigrants. I mean, my family immigrated years ago from Europe, but they didn't start here. But we're a nation of immigrants. We want to make sure that everyone has the same opportunities, that we're treated fairly in the workplace, that we're given opportunities to excel and to succeed, and that's our commitment.
I see. Okay. Well, thank you very much for being with our program today. We really appreciate you being here. Cảm ơn, that's right.
Okay, that's pretty good. Right?
That's very good. Anh Hưng xin cảm ơn quý vị đến với chương trình của VNTV trong đêm hôm nay và xin hẹn quý vị vào kỳ tới.